All right, we are recording. I'm the Amazing Vito, and I'm talking to the one and only Chrissie Mayr. Hi, Chrissie.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm so good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, so how's your day going so far?
It's going good. I'm really hungry. I do this a lot where I just like, and I know this sounds so annoying, but I think I'm turning into one of these people that forgets to eat. Like I only notice until I'm like fucking starving, which I guess is a good thing because it means I'm focused on other stuff and I don't know, work and such. But like, I don't know. I think I'm bad at drinking enough water and like making sure I'm eating. I know this sounds so dumb for anybody listening. Like, what's wrong with this girl? But like, I think I get sometimes like on a roll, and then I'll go into the bathroom and be like, oh, the bathroom's a fucking mess. I gotta clean that because it's like I'm working from home. So you're
Yeah,
just
so exactly like r- real quick, like so you dabble a little bit in stand up, I understand, right?
yes, yeah, I do. Yeah.
How long you been dabbling doing that?
Well, about like 10 or so years. Do you have to say dabble? Is that the word you
That
have to
offensive?
use?
I'm just trying to do an interview here.
Wow. I mean, I'm kind of offended, Vito. Like, look, I come on your show. I grace your show with my presence. I'm a pretty big deal. I'm pretty well known. I've been around. I would not say that I'm a dabbler.
I know you're not. I I
We plan that out, guys.
I watched this. I watched that video of you interviewing John, and I'm a fan of Stuttering John's, but I honestly did not know he did stand up. I
Thank
honest
you.
okay.
Thank you.
I
I
didn't
hope
know.
he hears this one day.
I did not. I know that he did. He was on Howard Stern, and we all know he went to Leno. But then when you asked him that, I thought there was I didn't think you were being mean. I just thought
Thank you.
you were just
Yes.
trying to get to, conversation. And I could see how he would get offended if he was, but I didn't know, right?
Right.
So it's not like I don't think, people are like, "Oh, it's the girl comic, she's trying to get him in a corner and trying to make him look stupid." I didn't see it that way at all.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, it's like, come on. If I was trying to be mean to you, you'd know. I'm a Scorpio. Like, it would be obvious. I was really
yeah,
just trying to be polite, and I wasn't planning. The word just flew out of my mouth, and like, luckily, I did not know. I couldn't see in his face how mad he was because his camera was frozen, and I was like too afraid to tell him to try to reset it because I also didn't want him to just be like, fuck you and leave.
yeah.
So that's kind of what I was expecting the whole
It's
time.
weird. I've had
Couldn't let
interview
it go. Yeah.
Yeah, I had interviews where they go a little sideways and you just go, "I didn't mean it that way." And
Yeah. And I was
and
like, I'm sorry. And like the whole time, and I'm sure you felt this too. It's like you feel hot inside, your heart is beating. It's like you feel hollow in your throat area. I don't know. Maybe I'm just describing acid reflux, but it's just like I fucking hate conflict so much. And especially, it's like I don't know this person. Like I don't know how to joke with him to make it okay. I just was like, But he went in with so many preconceived notions. He thought for some reason that I would be a carbon copy of Anthony Cumia. He thought for some reason that I was like trying to fuck with him, trying to make fun of him. He thought for some reason I was like obsessed with Trump. These are all things that like when you have them in your mind, like you project all of it.
yeah, I didn't see that part of it because it just showed a clip of it, like
Ah, the clip. Yes, the famous clip.
the
Yes.
famous clip, right? And
Yeah.
then I didn't like the whole problem is, and I've done this with when I had the podcast where it was just you wouldn't see the person, so you don't necessarily their reaction. Like if you see me doing this, like
Uh-huh.
you know that you pissed me off, or I do this. You couldn't see the guy, so it wasn't, and it was just a weird. Anyways, it who cares? All right, so
I care.
I know you gotta there is if you do care, that means you got a good heart. So,
Yeah, I did. I was like, please don't be mad at me.
and
I'm
you know
really
what
not
I've
trying.
heard in there was a even is, I heard a mobster say this once. It was like one of those mob stories. He goes, "You can't have heart in this business," and I think
Mm.
that works for stand up too. You cannot. You gotta have a thick skin. Like um, I like Kevin Brennan,
Okay.
right? So and I'm a fan of his stand up, and I like how abrasive he is because I could never be that honest,
Mm-hmm.
but he's very um like he just does not care. And yeah, I to me I look at that and I just go, I- I flat out asked him, just twittered him going, like and he goes, "You know what, you're gonna die, so who cares, just."
Wow.
But it's it's
Yeah.
it's true though. Like, just ask a question, who cares? It's not gonna, at the end of the day, you're gonna be, 6 feet under.
Don't
But
take yourself too seriously. Yeah. And
yeah,
don't
don't take yourself too seriously, and don't, so anyways, I know it didn't go all that great with him and Compound, but you're on there and you have your own show. It's called Wet Spot, right?
Yeah.
And did you come up with that name,
I
or?
did come up with it, and then I was like, nah, I gotta scrap it. It's too dirty. I can't. Come on,
Yeah,
I
like,
can't name my show The Wet Spot. And then my boyfriend Frank was like, no, it's fucking perfect. Like, you're not gonna do better than that. Like, I was like, okay.
well, you're gonna
You
get viewers,
know.
you know.
One
What
time, Milo Yiannopoulos told me, like, it was the first time I met him, and it was in the Compound studio because he would rent it out to do his show, I think for censored or whatever network he was
I
on.
remember.
And
I
he was
remember.
like, yeah, he was like, that's a horrible name. He's like, that's a horrible name. It's disgusting. Like, you're turning off the people. I can't even do his accent. He's like, he was repulsed by the name, possibly also me and my outfit. I was wearing something frumpy at the time. It gave him a very bad first impression. But he was like, you're gonna be turning off the people you want to attract. I was like, I'm sorry, but it's already done.
Yeah, but I I would disagree because it's a name where that sticks with you, like sticks in your head.
Good, good. All right.
So that's why I would want that name. I would want something that people would remember, right?
Yeah.
So, and also real quick, she's working. Uh, I have it here. I'm sorry. She's working with Anthony Cumia, Gino Bisconte, which in Italian means cookie. Uh,
Oh, wow.
no, I don't. I just made that up. And then Don Jamieson, February 26th. What city is that in?
Royersford, PA. Yes, we're doing a Comedians of the Compound in Royersford, PA. I'm also going to be in Dallas at Hyenas February 19th and 20th. So it's a Friday, Saturday. I think I was 2 or 3 shows in Dallas there. So,
You're
yes,
you're
get
very
tickets.
lucky because up here I'm in Canada, everything's shut down.
God, that
So,
sucks. Is there like a fear amongst the people? I mean, like,
no,
do you think Trudeau is just a cuck? Like that he's just like completely owned by China? Like what are
he
your
to,
feelings?
to me with him, I think he does whatever the US says. Like,
Wow.
Canada is the little brother of the United States, where the United States, where your mom says, okay, you're going out to play. Yeah, I'm going out to play. Take Canada with you.
You know what it is? But the feeling in the US is that Canada, if you are our little brother, you think you're hot shit and better than us because you studied abroad for a year.
Yeah,
That's
but yeah, have you ever heard?
entirely how it
Yeah,
feels.
but have you ever heard some of the stupid remarks? I mean, I understand if I lived in the States, I could say some of this stuff. But if I don't live there, you know what I mean? Like, why would I? I mean, Aaron Berg, I love his tweets. And he put down, this was kind of sad, but he goes, New York is turning into a dumpster. He was on the subway or going to the subway, and there was a guy, he was with his daughter or son, and there was
Oh, Berg has a daughter.
a daughter.
Yeah, Piper.
And could you imagine him as your dad?
Yes, it would be the best. Yeah, he
Like,
could fucking beat
like,
people up.
yeah, I could tell you stories of anyways, after. So, um, he was saying that there was a guy diddling himself,
Yes.
and
Classic Subway.
is that like how New York is? Like, is New York really? Because I know Anthony wants out of there, right?
Yeah, he's moving to South Carolina.
Okay. Now with him moving, is Compound going there? Like, are you going to move there, or are you going to do like
No,
your show?
we're gonna keep going. The studio's gonna stay open in New York. I think Dave Landau will be moving with his family to South Carolina as well. But that's really it. He fully wants the New York studio to keep going. So it will, and they, unless they tell us otherwise, it's gonna run the same as it always has. And I hope that Kumia's house becomes kind of like a destination for comics. Like, it'll be interesting to see what clubs he ends up moving near. And I could just see that being an interesting kind of like package deal. Like if they're near a club and they're like, oh, I could go do Kumia's show. It's like a destination spot now. So, and to answer your question about New York being safe, like you're more likely to see somebody jerking off in a subway station or on like a subway like platform. I've only seen one jerking off like on the train.
Only one.
Only one. And honestly, there's more kind of like absent-minded, like the homeless people and or drug addicts and or like crackheads. Like they'll be sort of passed out with a hand down their pants, or they'll just be like in their own other world, just like pulling their pants down. Like I've seen more just like absent-minded nudity than like somebody with their dick in my face, if
Right.
that makes any sense.
No, yes. No, that does make sense. Um, yeah. So I hope. So how are things in New York? Are like over here. Why they did the shutdown is because the coof, and they are not like the one show that I did. They they only allowed, because it was like a hall. They only allowed 11 people.
Wow. Yeah.
That includes wait staff.
Oh my God, that's
So
tough.
yeah, so
Wow.
I'm like, so no one's gonna open up a place because you're gonna lose money.
Just on being open. Yeah, it's like you're not even going to make enough to break even or to pay your staff. That's
Yeah,
what really sucks. Like at one point I was joking like, "Oh, this is a really great time for comics who don't really draw very much because a lot of these rooms it's like, yeah, if you only need 11 people, you're like, yeah, I could sell that out."
oh
But
yeah. I know a couple
yeah.
comics that could do that.
Yeah. So it really sucks. And it's it's hard to believe. Like I had a full tour planned for last March through May. And now here I go. I'm trying to do another tour that's kicking off this month, February. And I have some dates actually set out as far as like end of April, beginning of May now. Actually, no, I have more than that. I have some dates in April, yeah, in May. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that's able to happen. I'm teaming up with a Mr. Tim Young. He is also a comedian
Yeah, I
and
know who
like
that is.
political personality. We're gonna tour together. We're gonna do kind of like maybe I'm not sure what the tour is gonna be named, but it's gonna be like free speech related. And yeah, I'm very excited. We got a couple dates out in Florida for end of April, beginning of May, and then out in Nashville, Alabama. So we're still putting together like as close to a big tour as we can, pretty
Y-
much.
That is awesome, and I'm happy for you. I really am, because I think that's important to I mean, it just sitting around. I'm telling you, man, it just you sit around, you start having these dark thoughts of
Oh
people
God,
that you
yes.
should have
It's
killed like 3 years ago.
No, it's
You know?
and if you find yourself doing that, you really need to like, and I know this is so much easier said than done, but you have to look at your thoughts and your media and the things that you're consuming the same way you look at food and drink. You know what I mean? Like if at the end of the week you're going, man, I feel fucking depressed or angry or fearful or just shut down, you have to be like, okay, what was I watching this week? Was I endlessly scrolling on Instagram? Was I in a Twitter hole? And you have to go, okay, how do I
Yeah.
adjust for the next week? Do I have a cutoff time? Do I only allow myself certain apps? Do you realize that you can't watch certain channels anymore?
You know what gets to me? If I'll watch YouTube, or I'll stay off of Twitter. It's like a drug.
It
But
is. It really is.
Twitter is a dumpster fire of just evil sometimes. Um, but yeah, I'll end up watching, like they'll sit there and go, just before talking to you, I was watching a clip and it goes, the sad life of Ron White. And the sad life and ending of Ron White. And I was like,
He's dead?
I go, did he die? You know? So I'm watching this and it just talked about his life
This
and
is like a
he's alive.
documentary?
He's alive. And I'm like, you piece
Yeah.
of crap, you had me all, but I watch these. If you end up watching too many of these, it does play on you, where you start getting depressed. And that's why I'll watch some stand up that I like. And, you got it. Because if you watch too much negative things, they'll just, negativity feeds negativity. I mean, I said this a
Absolutely.
while ago where I remember me and this girl, we would go out, and when you're 20, I'm not going to say how old you are, it doesn't say, but when you're
You can take a
20,
guess.
you look very, very young.
I'll
Okay.
take it. I'll take it.
So you look, honestly, you look about 25.
No fucking way. It's because I have this light on. Let me see if I turn this light all the way down.
47. No, you look very young. But
Thanks.
you know what it was when you're in your, well, when I was in my 20s, early 20s, we ended up going to everywhere we would go, we would just be negative. Like everything was negative.
That's why you love Kevin Brennan so much, because he
No,
loves to be
no, but
negative.
no. But Kevin, real quick with about Kevin is that's just him, right? Like that's what I like about the guy. It's
Yeah.
just that
He's
it's
a
just
curmudgeon.
he's just this guy that just does not care. He'll start a fight with, like, if I start a fight with somebody, I honestly, unless I really hate that person, I will sit there, like, just say we get into a fight, I'll message you a week later and just go, hey, is everything okay? And you could still be angry at me, but I just want you to know that, hey, I don't like fighting with people,
Hey, what's your birthday?
June 15th.
So you're
Gemini.
a Gemini.
So
Yeah.
I get really angry like the Hulk, and then I become a pussy about a week later, where I just think about, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, no, what I like about, right, I don't want this to be about Kevin. I just, what I like about is just somebody that just, they see something, they
I
don't
say
like it,
something.
and they just say, how they feel. And you know what I mean? To me, I think there's something that, hey, at least you may not like the guy, but you will not forget the guy.
He knows who
And
he is. Yeah.
he is who he is, and he makes him unique, right? And I love the battles that he has with, God, he has battles with a lot of people, but he has, especially when he gets into it with, oh God, I can't believe I forgot his name. The bigger guy, bald.
Chad Zumach.
No, uh, uh, he's bald. He's bald. God, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Oh, Bobby Kelly?
Bobby Kelly. Jesus, Bobby Kelly just lays into him, and it's
Is
funny.
this recent?
No, I watch old, like him doing podcasts, and where him and Bobby Kelly will just go, nobody wants to have dinner with you.
Oh, that's
Everyone
great.
hates you.
That's funny.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, and I swear to you, it's the funniest. And at the end, they're both buddies, right?
Yeah, because they
You know
know
what I
it's
mean?
for good radio.
So I like that. I like that, they could at least, take jabs at each other and still become friends. So
Yeah,
anyways,
it's good.
back to you. So when you were saying about you never eat, whenever I have a show or anything like that, I never eat. Do you?
Oh, before
Yeah.
performing for sure. Like if I'll order food, if I'm like effing starving. I mean, I've already cursed. I don't know why I'm saying effing now, but if I'm so starving and I'm about to like do a set, I'm not gonna want to go on a full stomach. I'll have like a few bites to be like, okay, I'm not gonna like pass out. Just like I'll have one drink, one and a half, like definitely not more than two before going on stage, because it's like you just have to be at a certain level. And then once I'm done, I'll just like, blah, I'll eat, drink everything.
Well, I weighed well over 200 pounds because I would eat after the show and pig out. I would end up going to they would either at Denny's or whatever and just pig out because I wouldn't eat anything the whole day.
Wow. Yeah, that's not
And that
good.
was no
Okay.
good. That was so I would have to force myself some. I don't know if some guys can do it where they would eat before the show and I would just go, God, I wish I could do that, but
If it's
I
a
just
salad, yeah, I can totally do that. Like grilled chicken Caesar, sure. But like, and that's the thing is like, that's my comedy meal. I'm not going to order something. I will really seldomly order like a burger or something. It's usually like a salad with chicken because it's like, all right, the salad's fresh. They're making them,
well,
that's what
what's
I'll
your favorite meal? What do
ever.
you like to eat?
I mean, God, that's really all over the place. Like, I love like a fresh green drink just because it's like such a pain in the ass thing to make for myself. But like, I love healthy food. Like, I love like avocado toast, but I also like love sushi.
My
I
daughter.
I
That's
love
my
breakfast.
daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll go like nuts on some like I can have breakfast any time of day. I mean, I'd love to have like a Dutch baby, which is just like a big ass, like I think it's a German or Dutch like flat pancake. It's sort of like a big ass crepe or whatever with
Right,
like
right.
walls. Just anything like covered in butter is always going to be a win for me. Yeah, I'll like a waffle every once in a while. Some French toast is good. I'm like not really as into cereal anymore. Like every once in a while, yeah. Like I like to go to like one of those churrascarias, one of those like steak places where they have it on a stick. That's fun to do. Definitely, like I've gotten more into steaks since dating my boyfriend for sure because he makes a really good steak, like better than steakhouses or just as good. Or like a lamb chop is good. And then like every once in a while, like I'll really want some ice cream or something. Like I used to eat way like I used to, it was like I joke with my boyfriend, like when I met him, I would eat so much candy, like there would just be wrappers all over my apartment in Queens. Just like everywhere. It was just bad. It's like I looked like, I don't know, one of those old ladies. Like my grandma was one of these like old ladies. She wouldn't eat all day and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have anything." And then when she died, we just found candy wrappers everywhere. We're like, "Holy shit." She just ate so much secret candy. Because you also have like a weird erratic schedule as a comic. You're missing meals. If you work a job during the day, you're just kind of like all over the place. And most of us aren't good at like, let's pack a lunch or let's pack a bag for the day. So yeah, I would say final answer, sushi, nice cocktails, sometimes I like a bacon wrapped scallop. I do like an avocado. I like some some good
So
guac,
you're into the healthy stuff.
kind of tacos. I fucking love Taco Bell.
Do you really?
Yes, yeah. Like,
I'm the only one in my family that likes it. Everybody's like, it's so
oh,
gross.
it's so good. And it also hits that like nostalgia part for me because I remember as a youth, we would go to Taco Bell and it was when they had like the old like stucco walls. You'd put your hand on the wall and it's like all
Oh
pointy
yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
like the classic Taco Bell. And I remember it was like you have to eat 100 tacos, whatever it was, by the end of the summer, and you get like a Rocky and Bullwinkle t-shirt. And I was like, we have to do this. That was the first time I'd been committed to something in my whole life. I was like, we have to, as a family, eat 100 tacos so I can get this free t-shirt. And then we got it. And now I don't even know where that shirt is. It's like, I wish I still had it, it like meant something. So it's like, it's just like, it's so good. And like, I don't know, maybe it's not that healthy, but to me, it seems healthier than like, a burger and fries, but I could be wrong. Love a Taco Bell. Like I also like Wendy's. I'll do a Wendy's sometimes.
Yeah. Out of Wendy's. I don't know if you guys have Harvey's over there. Do you guys have Harvey's?
Is Harvey's like a
I don't like Harvey's. Anyway,
okay.
it's very slimy.
Okay, ew. I will like if I'm in LA, I'll like an In-N-Out burger very much. And like other than that, I like a Shake Shack. They do these like their burgers are very tidy, but like very tasty. And their bun is like kind of on the sweeter side. Yeah, I like Shake Shack.
Have you had White Castle?
Yes, White Castle is like guilty, drunken, dirty pleasure for sure. Yeah, like
No, I've
they're
never. I've everybody.
greasy little.
I've I've never had White Castle, and it sucks because I don't know. I've screwed up. It's one of those regrets. One
I
of
mean,
those.
one day it's not over yet. You can
No,
have
it's
like
just it's I don't know.
you're
So
giving
do you?
up on your dream.
Yeah, no, it's just when hopefully if things start up again, I mean, I got a buddy. You need a visa to work in the States, right?
Don't they
So
sell like free frozen White Castle burgers? Like I feel like you
it's
could
not
buy
the
that shit
same. Not
online.
the same. It's gross. It's not the same. I've talked to people about this. They're like,
Okay.
don't even do
Don't
that.
even bother.
But do you
Okay.
think, like, getting back, uh, your your form of stand up, would you say is political?
No, in
Okay.
fact, like I'm so new into politics because I only started giving a shit last year. Like in the spring. I'm so new. Like all these, like I do have a lot of friends and acquaintances who are like of the conspiracy world and the political world. I just didn't care until I just started putting a lot of things together at the with the pandemic and the lockdown. I was like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, wow, we're fucked. So I think that's going to be like the next phase of my stand up because right now my set is still dealing with like I'm taking jokes that are a few years or like up to like maybe to last year, so a year old, and updating it all. Like if I was going to do a headlining set tomorrow, I'm still doing a lot of my old material, but I'm like filtering it through like what's going on now, and through my crowd work and sort of like off the cuff stuff, I'm kind of talking about maybe more politics, but maybe more like my just sort of like utter disgust for celebrity. I don't really have political jokes. Like I had like a 5-minute bit on Melania Trump that I wrote as soon as they were in office, and it was more just like kind of poking fun at Melania and her, like I was comparing her to like an indoor cat. So I don't really have political jokes, but I'm starting to like see my place in the world. Like I started to really care when I saw like free speech starting to like be taken away. I was like, oh no, this I really give a shit about.
Yeah,
And
and I
so
think
that's what kind of
that's where I think Anthony got a really bad rap, for trying to keep free speech. I mean, Landau does a great job, Berg, Gino, they all do a great job of, the free speech, but also just being, talking about a particular subject and being funny about it and how hypocritical people are. And we live in a time where you can't do that. And it's very, I know so many comics that just are confused to, where they're like, what do you mean we can't say this, we
mm,
can't, we can't do this or whatever. uh that I find, if we're going down that route, that's just the end. To me, that's the end. I mean, if Eddie Murphy has to apologize for a joke he did 25 years ago, it's the end. I mean, it was
yeah.
25 years ago. I mean,
Right.
there's
And you look at Kevin Hart apologize. It's like because the apology is never going to be the people that want you apologizing actually don't want that. They just want you done. They want
no
you like
once you
dead. They want you like no longer able to work again. So
yeah
it's like that's where people run into trouble. It's like do not ever apologize because
yeah
it will never be enough and
yeah
they'll never.
well, once you apologize, there's no end to it. So
Right.
I
It's
wish.
it's one thing if you say something intentionally mean, fine, but it's like most comics are not doing that. It's like we all laugh at stereotypes and to deny that is to deny reality. So,
Yeah,
and I think maybe like when these comics get bigger, they're afraid, "Oh, my management is telling me this and that and the other thing. I got to delete this, apologize for that." And they get scared. They think they're going to lose like their precious like work or celebrity or whatever.
that's
And
the
I
thing though,
understand that because you don't want to
Chrissy.
lose like your $1 million
Yeah,
deal or
but
gigs.
Chrissy, picture. Okay, do you like? Would you ever want to be on Saturday Night Live?
Would I want to? Yes, they would have to very much change their brand to even consider somebody like myself because like yeah, I love doing characters. I love doing voices. I love writing for characters, but like I would not be interested in singing the same song. Like I just over the last 4 years, you're like, oh, they just are taking the same easy, unclever shots at Trump. And I just was like, ugh, these guys can do so much better. All the money they have in that show, the writing, all the writers,
But
you know.
doesn't it seem like people that are at the top that are saying, okay, this is what how we're going to do it. Just we're going to even hate Trump or love Trump, but we're going to crucify Trump. That's our goal, okay? And if you don't agree with us, and if you're not part of our program, Chrissy, you're not on the show. And
It's, yeah.
I think that is the wrong way to go, because you need that person, that one person, even if the person, the one guy that loves Richard Nixon, have him on.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's just uh uh, more if they want it more diverse, that's the way you do it.
But that's what it is. It's the diversity thing is all bullshit because they don't allow for diversity of thought. They want a lot of different colors of people all saying the same thing. So it's like I feel like 2020, even starting in 2018, but I feel like last year was the year all of it kind of like came to a head and a lot of people were starting to see through like all this identity politics bullshit. And it's like just comedy can't exist in like a safe space. It's like you're gonna have really boring bits if that's what you're doing. And
Well,
it shows. It's why people are like kind of checked out on SNL.
you see a lot of where remember when the Oscars were like a huge deal?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I remember my younger days. I know I look How old do you think I am?
Let me see. Put yourself close to the camera.
Okay.
No, you're moving away.
Hey,
Move
check
close.
this out.
Hold
Watch.
on, have it. First of all, has anybody told you you're disappearing that you look like Ray DeVito a little bit? Who was
Who?
a Ray DeVito? He's a comic. I think he moved back to Ohio or something.
I am
But
Ray DeVito. What the hell's wrong with you? No, I don't know who Ray DeVito is.
all right, you kind of look like him. I would say, let's think.
25 at least.
I
All
would
right, let's move on to the
say
next question.
no. I would say you're not. You don't look older than 40.
No, I'm 50.
Hey, there you go. Somebody moisturizes.
Do these swans look sick to you?
No, they look robust.
No, they are sick. So, um, thank you for the compliment. See, when you get a compliment, what happens is it screws me up because I'm not
It
used.
short circuits your whole brain.
Yeah,
You're like,
it's
I don't
kind of
even
like, wait a
know.
minute, she should be.
My penis has taken over.
Yeah, she should. She should be mean to me. So, uh, but yeah, the whole thing is, it used to be an Oscar party. Used to be like going over, and
Yeah, we wanted to know what everybody was wearing. We wanted to know who everybody was there with. We just gave so much more of a shit about
yeah,
celebrities.
and then now it's just like you do as we say, and it's kind of, I feel like that's just the wrong way to do it. I mean, um there's no way of, if somebody were speaks out, like, like Christy Alley, she'll speak out, or Gina Carrero,
Gina
uh,
Carano, we're
Gina
buds. She
Carano.
follows me on Twitter. We
That's
were
great.
chatting the other day. I was like, I fucking
tell
love
her tell her I
you.
said hi. Tell her I said hi.
Okay, okay, well,
So she yeah, like they want to cancel her, and I'm like, why would you? These are strong women,
yeah. That don't have
and
to be constantly talking about how strong they are.
they're very, but yet if you don't agree with what we say, this is what I'm seeing, that you get, everybody just jumps on you. Everybody, yeah, you have other celebrities just attacking them. And if you're a celebrity, like if you're famous or somebody, you're like, okay, I better shut up and
You're
just go.
expected to fall in line because,
Yeah,
like, same thing. The celebrities are owned by the same people who own mainstream media, and it's like all the far left,
but
the alt left.
Chrissy, you know what I think is smart? If you're a famous celebrity, I think the smart ones are the ones that just don't say anything.
The ones, yeah, that's always good to know. Is like, oh, who's quiet right now?
Because you know what happens? If you're in a movie, and and you're saying that these supporters, I hate these supporters, or these supporters are dumb.
I hate
Guess
that.
what? You're going to hurt yourself box office wise.
Yeah.
Because as Kobe, oh, not, I'm sorry, Michael Jordan said that,
Yes.
he said that famous line where, hey, 50% of, the people buying my shoes are Republican or Democrat. So why would it's better to just, yeah. And if you're taking a celebrity's, um, if you're voting because this celebrity said vote this way, that's not good, man. You should have your own brains.
But I think people don't realize that because like over time, over decades, like the celebrities have become more palatable, more like, oh, I feel like I know them. They're easier to get to feel like you're close to than our actual politicians. So they've realized that over time, it's like, oh, if we have Cardi B talking about how great Biden is, boom, we know a lot of her fans are going to vote, and it's kind of like it's just delegating your PR basically.
You know what I think their downfall was? I think the downfall started with TMZ.
Oh, really?
Because I think when TMZ shows you coming out of
Dun,
your,
dun, dun.
you know what I mean? When it shows like a celebrity, and they're like, how dare, like, I remember they showed, what's her name?
Britney Spears?
No, yeah, well, they showed her, but it was, you can't get old. Like it's
Okay.
illegal to
Yeah.
become old. And it was Goldie Hawn, and
Oh,
she was outside eating, and of course there's a guy taking her picture and just being rude to her, and they're
wow.
going, look at how old she is, look, her plastic surgeon, and I'm going,
Yeah, it's so icky. Like,
it's just,
who are we as
really,
people? But that's what
it's,
they have to do. That's what these paparazzi guys feel like they have to do to make money. It's like, ugh, look at yourself.
yeah, but I mean, I just, everybody gets old, sorry. It's like, it's wrong to get old. And then if I don't know, it's this
Yeah,
cycle.
there's all this pressure to stay young looking forever. Oh, but then when you get work done, oh, she's had
Oh
work
yeah.
done. She's
Like,
had too much work. So it's like you have to get just enough work so that nobody can tell you got work.
yeah, if you're like, I can't even, Renee Zellweger,
Hmm.
it doesn't even look,
Unrecognizable.
yeah, it doesn't look like her anymore. And she was such a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she was cute. She was
Yeah.
like quirky
She had
looking.
that little squinty nose.
She had spunk.
Yeah, she was adorable. And then, but anyways, yeah, so I just think if you need to listen to a celebrity, I think you should just listen to yourself, look at what's out there.
And know that they're pretty much bought and paid for. Know that this is like might not be genuinely coming from their hearts. It's like it's they're talking with their paycheck, so
Yeah.
or their
Well,
their
if
wallet.
somebody sits there and you have a 3 pitcher deal, and I'm your agent, and you say something, I go, Chrissy, immediately stop speaking, because we've got a 3 pitcher deal here. Like, you're gonna get booted off of this movie. So money talks, right?
Right.
So I understand that point of it, but to use that as a blackmail, I
Yeah,
find
it's icky.
I find and yeah, I find that, and even they're like, me even saying blackmail, people are going, there he is, racist. Why would you say
All
that?
males matter.
Yeah, all males matter.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, all right, let's get off of politics.
But
So
that's good though. I like what you're saying because which is why I feel so strongly that it is the job of the comedian. It's like I don't have a big movie deal going on right now. I'm not like owned by anyone right now. So it's like
here's the
I want
thing.
to, and hopefully not ever. The goal is to make enough to live off of just being me and speaking my truth that I won't be again somebody else that's owned by someone else that like the
Well,
listener has to be like, "Huh, what's their motive?" You know.
the job the comedian is, came from the gesture, right? So
Yeah.
the gesture was the only one that could make fun of the king,
Hmm.
right? So a comedian's job is, I mean, I've had this conversation with a few times where nobody's going up on stage saying stuff like, hey, like hardcore homophobic jokes because they would be booed off the stage. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's going up there. There's no white comic going up there going and the N word and then the
No.
other N word. That's just not happening. Okay. Yeah, we all know that, but it's turned into uh you know this is the mold that you need to talk, like I see people
So
that
much generalizing going on.
well I see people that should be getting awards that you're sitting there going, how the hell is this person getting an award? Like they're not they should not, like you must do this when you sit around watch TV and go, how the hell they get on TV? Who gave
Oh
who
yeah, I figured it out. It's like, it's sometimes it's talent, but often it's who you know. So,
Yeah, it's
or
true.
how hard of a worker you are,
Yeah,
or some
yeah.
combination. So,
Or Harvey Weinstein and you're into that, if you're
yeah. And when you look at celebrities, it's like the ones that are uber famous, it's like they probably had to do something somewhat compromising at some point to get to be above,
but
because
think
there's a lot of good actors and singers out there. It's like, yeah, what are you going to do to set you apart? So,
yeah, like I know plenty of stand-ups that are absolutely amazing. Like I just sit there and go in awe when you watch. If you're at a club, usually I get ready and once I'm done my set, I'm out of there. But there's always that one or two comic that you always stick around. You watch them because
yeah.
they make you laugh so hard, and you're like, and they've been going at it for 20 years.
Yeah, that's
And
how I feel about like Aaron Berg. I always watch him. Like he's just masterful with crowd work. Yeah, I mean, there's so many comics that like,
he's very smart. I remember
yeah,
when years ago, it must have been like 15 years ago. I said a lot longer than that, but it was about 15 years ago. We're at the Rivoli. This is a club in Toronto. And I knew Aaron, but it wasn't like I never saw his set or anything like that. Like it wasn't anything like that. And then it was just me and him. And then he said, all right, I did my set. And then I got off and it was Aaron's turn. And all of a sudden it was just this, he just said the room, just the things that he was talking about, it was like only he could say it, make it funny.
yeah, yeah, he could pull
Because
it off.
you got to be pretty clever to do that. So yeah, hats off to him. And incredibly talented. Aaron is incredibly, and a sweet guy too. A lot of people don't know that. They think he's a very uh, aggressive guy. He's not. He's a very, very
Because he
kind
looks
heart.
because he looks like a juice head. No, but he's a sweetheart. Yeah.
He is. He's a very kind guy. So um yeah, it sucks the way things are going. Do you think comedy will go back? Well, like, do you think it'll get to the point where comedy wise, they'll just sit there and go, we've gone too far. This is not funny. This is hurting our ratings. I mean, remember talk shows, they were really huge. Conan O'Brien, I think they were pulling in these crazy numbers, and now he's on TBS. But he's even saying, all right, listen, if I'm only bringing in 200,000 people, there's 330 million people living in the States. And if I'm bringing in only 200,000, there are people that I know that do live streams
Wow.
that have maybe, I think one guy the other night had close to 20,000 people. This is just
Wow.
a guy in his basement.
It's amazing. Yeah, that's why I think it's like it's not going to go back to the old way because everything is just dispersed out. There's just so many more avenues, and it's like people just need enough. I heard Sam Tripoli say like you just need 1,000 loyal fans really to, in terms of like making enough to live or whatever. It's like it's just so segmented out. It's become more niche, which is great because now it's like the average person's gonna be like, I'm not fucking laughing at this moron on Colbert. It's like, oh no, now you can like find whatever kind of comic you like and support them directly. You don't, these gatekeepers have lost so much of their power. It's not just like who's done JFL or who's on Colbert, or who's done Letterman or like Fallon, it's like, oh yeah, I heard this person on a podcast and now I subscribe to their podcast. And it's like, maybe it's more like
Yeah, well,
underground and
you
niche.
remember when like Jimmy Fallon wasn't a political guy,
Hmm.
but I heard that he was forced to be political.
Really? That makes
And
sense. It doesn't seem like it's in his nature. He was just like a easygoing. I mean, I
yeah,
would
like
like do karaoke with him. Like there used to be this spot on 20, I think it was 23rd Street near Live Bait. It was like near Madison Square Park. But I'd see him like doing, this is like back when I was doing improv, like I don't know, maybe 12, 15 years ago. Yeah, he would just be like regular dude when he was, I think, probably still doing SNL. Um, I never like saw him as uber political, but of course, like, yeah, you're hosting a late night show. You gotta be singing the late night song.
well, without kicking um it's going to be weird now. I'd like to see uh how they're going to do if you can't kick Trump around. I mean, you could only say, okay, he's, hey, like do an old callback about Trump or whoever, but without Trump anymore, I just don't see are they going to hopefully go back to the format of let's just entertain people, let's just be funny, you
Yeah,
know?
I don't know. It also, it seems like the late night shows are not acting out of what is going to get us the most viewers. It seems like they're just acting out of a motive, like whoever NBC is owned by, we're gonna just like basically like do what they want us to do or like spout the views they want us to spout. So it's like they might take a cheap shot at like a lame joke at Biden, but it's like it's not going to be groundbreaking brave comedy. It's going to be safe takes and whatever comics they have on the show or it's like their sets have to the sets have to be so heavily combed through by multiple people multiple times that by the time it gets out it's like the real raw version of that comic is somewhat removed. So I think it's just going to be like, ugh, they're not going to want to revitalize anything or shake things up because that probably feels like too much of a risk. And they're they can't upset daddy. So I think it's just going to get like lamer and lamer, and the numbers are just going to keep going down.
Yeah, and that to me is where I don't understand. That's why I love Cobra Kai. You ever watch that show?
I love Cobra Kai. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
so I love that they're just they're not PC, they're just doing a good show.
because
They're
real people are not PC. Like that's why the characters are so good. Because it's
yeah, so
Johnny like saying the wrong thing sometimes. You're like,
yeah,
this is a real
and
person.
hey man, it's just, that's why the show does well. And you would think other directors or other people would watch this and say, hey, when I do my show, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it for the fans, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it for people that just I do. I remember
To
somebody
impress
asked,
like, yeah, your woke industry
like
buddies.
I don't know if you remember this, but stand up wise, like if somebody went up to the front desk at a club and didn't like what you were doing, okay, they would just say, okay, that's tough. Like, okay, you're more than welcome to leave.
Yeah.
But
Like, do
now,
you want a free drink? I don't know. They would probably wouldn't
no,
even
it
do
would not even
that.
it wouldn't
They're like,
even be a free drink. It would just be like,
yeah.
okay, you could leave. But now it'd be like, oh, you didn't like oh, okay, I'll make a note of it. And then I'll come up to you because I'm the manager. And after the show, if you think
Somebody didn't like you.
you had a
Oh wow.
wonderful, and I come up to you and I go, hey, Chrissy, we had a woman complain about this bit you do about kittens, and you're like, what are you talking about, man? No, we had a complaint. So can you kind of bring it down? You're going, are you insane?
Right. It's like you wouldn't submit a complaint if you saw a movie, you're like, I didn't like this one part where all the women got together and it was really obvious that they were doing a girl power shout out. It's like just like, and that's what it is, I think, with comics. Like you have an, whatever, an online personality that can be canceled. So people think, oh, I have power. I have say over what this person does. I think comics just have to like truly stop giving a shit about what other people think and what other people like, and never apologizing. And that's what makes you uncancelable.
Yeah, I think if you stick to your guns and just, if and you're gonna have people crap on you, but if you stick to your guns, you'll be fine, and people will always gravitate towards you because people are sick and tired of vanilla. They want
Yeah.
something
Can
different.
you imagine like going to a concert and be like, oh, I liked everything but that third song.
Yeah,
Who can I talk to about that?
yeah. It's
And
just you're there to see the band. It just that's the problem with the way things have turned out. And I hate that. I hate the way things have turned out. So
that's the thing. I feel the same way too. And all you can do is just like be obsessed with I don't know, I hate to sound like corny, but like being the change, whatever Gandhi quote. It's like you have to fight for and be the thing that you want to see more of.
what was weird about Gandhi? What was weird about him?
That wasn't he like a rapist or something?
No, I didn't. There's always these stories, eh? You never. Is that creepy? Look,
I've heard creepy stories about
no.
Gandhi.
He
Yeah.
would he would he would sleep with for temptation. He would have young girls sleep naked with him.
What a fucking creep. Ugh.
I'm
I
not
believe
making
it.
that up. I'm
I
not making
believe
that
it.
up.
He was a creep. I've heard
So
shit.
he would have these amazing things, these amazing sayings, and then but he wouldn't have sex with them. He would lie
Yeah,
there
okay. You think he
for
wouldn't slip up once or twice? Who's gonna
well,
say
yeah,
anything?
yeah. I'd roll over if you know what I mean. Just go whoops,
Yeah, just be
but
like, "Ooh, Gandhi, just whisper one of your quotes in my ear."
so
He definitely fucked around.
so he yeah, he said it for temptation to see if he would be tempted. That's
I feel
that's
like he's full of shit. I feel like he says that because that sounds impressive to people.
and he wanted everybody to have an enema all the time.
Oh,
He would
got to
get like
keep
if
that butthole clean.
just say
Yeah.
just say I was Gandhi, right? I would just go,
Okay.
Christine, how you been?
Good.
You
Well,
look
my
like you look like you need an enema.
all right. I'll get right on that. I mean, like I used to do colonics to get cleaned out down there.
Seriously?
Yeah, yeah. It's like colon irrigation. They just go in there. They put a little hose up your bee hole, and then it works so that it just like sprays like this warm like saline water or whatever, and then it
Right.
just like it all comes out. It's fun. And
Do
then
you,
you
do
leave.
you,
You skip out of there. You feel lighter. You stand up
well, of course
straighter.
you feel lighter. You just had a gallon of water shoved up your tailpipe. I mean, I remember a guy telling me this comic guy told me he would get them done, and I was like, "You're just there because you know what I mean. You're
Gay.
into, you know what I mean.
You're into butt stuff.
Yeah, like there's no way you would just go." He's like, "No, it's real healthy for you." And
It's yeah. I think it's pretty decent. I mean, if you're always eating like shit, but you're getting colonics, it's like all right, maybe that's
Chrissy,
not the thing to
shit
focus
comes out of
on.
there regardless.
But the average person does have like backed up shit in their colon, like in their intestines. Like I think
Yes,
it's
it's called
anywhere from 1 to 3 pounds or something like that.
yeah, it's called regret. You know, I mean that just everybody's got that. And then what happens when you leave there? You're gonna go out and eat. So
No,
it's
you
just
usually go home. Yeah, like you keep pooping. I mean, you're not gonna shit your pants, but like you get home, you're gonna be pooping more that night, and then just like try to eat something light.
so you continue going to the bathroom after you've had
Mhm.
that done.
Yes, yeah,
Oh
because it just
wow,
cleans out your system, and then there's like
this is turning
you
into a
have
shitty show.
yeah, then you have like not that it's like full on diarrhea, but like your next couple of movements are gonna be kind of a little watery because you're
Ugh.
just cleaning out. It's good. You feel light.
Just the way you said that.
I haven't done a coffee enema. I'm not at that level yet. I
Oh
wouldn't,
yeah.
if someone
You,
offered it to me, I'd be like, sure, why not? I'll try anything once.
you ever see Bad Santa?
I think so.
Okay, do you remember John Ritter?
Yes.
Okay, when he talked about how Bad Santa liked to be with large women and have anal sex with them. If
Okay, I
you
don't
see
remember that.
John Ritter's face in that, okay, he's with look it up, and he's with and he passed away. He was a very funny man. Bernie
Oh,
Mac. Bernie
okay.
Mac explains to him saying he likes butt sex, and all of a sudden Ritter does this face. He goes, and it was just priceless. Ritter, it was just taken away. That man was so.
Aw.
You don't remember Three's Company, but I love that
I
man.
remember Three's Company.
You remember that show?
Yeah.
What are your favorite?
Someone knock on a
Yeah.
door.
Don't get me going.
Uh,
Don't get me going. I'll start. I get a tear in my eye. So, what are your favorite? All right. Well, well, let's stick on comedy real quick. What's the worst set you ever had?
Oh God, that I can remember. It was 2.5 years ago. I did a set the night my mom died. So my mom died in the morning, and it was like,
What?
yeah, I like talked to my dad at like nine in the morning. I was actually like on my way to a like a day job, and I got the call, and I knew it was coming. She had stage 4 brain cancer. It's like you're not
Oh,
gonna
I'm so
survive that.
sorry.
Oh, thanks. And I had 2 sets that night, and I was like telling myself, I was like, well, I knew this was coming. I knew she was gonna die. Like, no reason I can't still do spots. Like my dad hadn't planned any kind of a service or anything like that. There was no funeral. Like she just got cremated. Because we have a small family, and my brother and sister and my mom's best friend who lived down there in Florida with her, not lived with her, but like across the street, they were all like, well, we don't want to do a wake. We don't want to remember her that way. And so I was like, okay, well, Dad, don't have a wake for just me and you. So he did nothing, and she just got cremated. And then I was like, well, I should still try to like, I mean, that came, of course, like in the few days after she died, but like the day she died, it was like, still chaos. But it's not like everybody was flying out to
I can't
Florida.
believe
I
you
was like,
did.
I gotta do my spots. I gotta go to the city, do my shit. And I remember I like called out of work that day because I just was like, I even got on the train. I got the call, got on the train. I was like, still gonna go to work. I was like, I knew this was coming. No reason why I can't just go to work. And I just started crying, and I had to like get off a few stops and like like turn around and like because my friend called me like, how are you? And I was like, and so I did turn around and so I stayed home from work that day, but I was still gonna go back in and do my spots because I was like, life goes on. And I remember it was at the Village Lantern, and I just like, I think I do have it recorded somewhere. I just like it kind of devolved into it was like part jokes, part like it sounded like it could have been a therapy session. And I just was like trying to make jokes about the fact that my mom had just died, and people were like, "Oh my God, why are you here?" Like they didn't
Yeah,
know whether to believe me or not. They didn't know if I was joking, and I think I just was like, I don't know,
I think you were in
didn't know what to
shock.
do. Yeah, yeah, but I also do have this like new like over the last few years, like my work ethic has sort of like really started to kick ass. So I just was like, go do your shit. Like, no reason why you can't physically go and do comedy tonight. And I was like, oh, because it was so surreal. It's not like I had just seen her. The last time I saw her was like beginning of July, so it was now like beginning of August, and I was like, all right, life goes on, comedy, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, I
but
was I
that
was a
that
hot
is
mess for that.
that I don't that was I didn't know I was gonna get that answer
And then I
too.
ended up not going to the second spot. I just like drank. Like I went with a couple of the other comics from the first show. And then they were, I guess I was telling them that it was like real. They were like, oh, let's go get you a drink. And then I just got like fucking drunk and then came home eventually. Yeah.
Well, that was nice of them. I
It
didn't know
was.
you
It
were
was
gonna.
nice.
I wouldn't have asked you that if I knew.
Well, you asked.
Man, I
But
thought.
that's good. That's fine. That's real life shit right there, you
Yeah,
know?
that is that that. But still, that's a horrible story, man. That's making me cry.
Oh, no,
So
it's okay. It's like, I mean, I think it's good that part of me wanted to push through and still like fulfill my duties to myself and my obligations to the shows. And it's not like I had to drop everything and fly to Florida. So it's not like what else was I going to do? And sometimes it is nice when you are going through shit or like trauma or a breakup or whatever. It is good to like keep your routine and like, go work out, go write, go see a friend, like, sometimes it is good to do things and keep your body moving. So I was like telling myself that's what I was doing, but then I got on stage and I was like, it hadn't sunk it in yet. Yeah, I was like still in shock.
yeah, I had I was out in Calgary, and comic that I was with, we were flying back, and he found out when he called at the airport, he found out that his mom had passed, and it was horrible, you know, and I remember uh, him getting into an argument with the uh, check-in person to get on the plane, and I had to step in to just let him know because it was going to get physical, and I had to let him know that he's just lost his mom, and let's just get on this plane and get him home. And it was just
Yeah.
a quiet flight, and it was one of those moments of you know you know it sucked, you know.
It does suck, and nothing can prepare you for it. Even when you're like, "Oh, my parent has a terminal illness," and even if like part of you's like, "Okay, well, they're not gonna get better." So but it's always, and it comes in phases and in waves. Like, I think the first, definitely the first year, I would just be like, I would cry at just random times of the day. I would like try to go to sleep and then just start crying, and it's like hits you at it. And then after I think the first year, it hits you on holidays, birthdays, sometimes like when it's going into summer. I'll get really upset because her birthday was in July, and also the summer is when we would like hang
Yeah.
out a lot. And as a kid, she'd always come to all my diving meets during the summer, and I was a lifeguard. She'd come and just hang out. Me and my sister were lifeguard at the same pool, so I just think of her in summer. She just loved the pool. She loved like pina coladas. She loved just like fucking. We'd go to Vegas. She'd drink too much. She'd flirt with a 25-year-old. Just classic mom stuff.
Right. That's
So
awesome. I'm sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to bring that up.
No, it's okay. I like talking about her, and she's very much like still. Very much still feel her spirit, and she's with me, and like I know that she's proud, and that's what's nuts is like, and I don't know if any people listening or you have like experienced this, but like I'm not gonna say I had a great relationship with my mom, but some parts of it may have been codependent where I felt like I was fully responsible for her mood because growing up, like she and my dad would fight. And that's where I kind of discovered my sense of humor because I realized that I had the ability, like the power to like make my mom laugh and feel better. So like her and my dad would fight, and then I would, me and my sister and her would like go off or whatever. But like I think I learned early on, like, oh, I can make people laugh when they're not feeling good, and I can bring them up. And so I just would lean into that. But then over time it became like, oh, if my mom's not in a good spot, like I need to get on that and fix it. And it consumes a lot of you. So I found like after she passed, so much space opened up, like head space, heart space. And what flowed into that space was like everything I had wanted to do for myself. Like I really got into starting my podcast. I pitched and got the show on Compound Media. I like leaned so hard into performing and writing and just being a better comic, like being more accountable to my goals. And like it's kind of amazing to see like what's happened just in the last 2.5 years, because it's like this huge space was opened up,
It
which
gave
so
you a kick in the pants.
yeah, it was like, okay, now what are you gonna do for you? You don't have, you're not um
And
like yeah.
that to me is the thing about comics where they'll be jealous of others for what they have, but there's a backstory. They never, when you find out stuff like that, you're like, well, yeah, well, they attacked it with their teeth. They went at it, they really went at it, and that's that's
Yeah, and also
that's good.
behind that was also years of floundering, like years, like 7 years of fucking around, not being committed, not being clear in my goals. Um so it was like a lot of fucking around, and then a lot of space opened up in my life, and I was like, okay, now what do I really want?
All right.
Yeah,
That's good.
and I would definitely like distract I mean, I felt every part of the grief and like took time for it when I was in it, but um I would, in a good way, like distract myself with goals and be like, okay, I got to focus on something because I you can't wallow like all day long.
Okay, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. And what would you say is the best set you've ever had?
Um
Or
You know what's so funny? You
a
know what's
good
fucking
a good
funny is
weekend.
I had the best set I had ever had up to that point the night before I found out my mom died. Isn't that
That's
fucking crazy? I
wonderful.
was at West
But
Side Comedy Club and I was doing this girl Marie Castillo's. I was doing her show, and it's so fucking crazy because her mom actually passed away today. So it's like wild that this is all like she's a really good friend, and I'm like, oh, and I like knew her mom too. So it's like it's so fucking hard. Um, I did so well. Like everyone's going, damn. And then the next morning was like, oh shit. And then I go out and I have like the worst set ever because I'm just in it. Um, that was a really good set. I had a really good set when I headlined out in LA this past March. Um, I did Laughs on Fox a few years. It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Like I think any set I really take the time and prepare for is going to be a really good set. And I think the ones that like go into the favorite zone are the ones where like I prepare, my material is on point, but I'm also so present and in the moment that I can really like serve the crowd at my like best, highest self because I'm in the moment, I'm present, and I can like pay attention to them. And you know, my crowd work is like really good.
so you're great at spritzing with people.
I like to spritz.
Good, good. Yeah, me too. I spritz a lot.
That
And
just
then
means you're excited.
if I was, uh, let's, I didn't even look at the time. What I know,
It's 6:16.
how much time do we got?
I mean, I have another recording in 45 minutes.
All right. Well, this will be the last. This will be the. Well, let me do two.
Okay.
Okay. Let me do two. Who's your favorite comedian?
Oh God, that's such a hard question. It's not fair. It's like there's things I like about everybody. There's really not one comedian where I'm like,
All right. Your top three.
oh, okay. Fuck. I think George Carlin for his like not giving a fuck. It would be interesting to see like how he would do actually in this time with all the canceling and shit. I like and respect Mark Normand for his work ethic, for his joke writing skills, for the fact that like even though he's gotten a lot more well known, he will still do that random bar show. You know, that you would look at him and go, "Oh, he's above this show or this spot," but he works real hard and he does like pretty much anything, which is very cool. And man, I really love Aaron Berg just for like his crowd working skills and again like how in the moment he is and how he like I've never seen him do like the same crowd work at a show twice, you know.
Yeah, that takes skill. Now, if I was a CEO or an executive at NBC or a top network, if you had to pitch a show, what would you pitch?
I would pitch something just about my life, really. It would be um just I don't know, like the struggles I've gone through, the different jobs I've had, like the like the stress of comics or anybody create like pursuing something creatively where they have to balance like being a real person, like whether it's working or taking care of family or taking care of a sick parent and like pursuing your passion.
Right.
Because most of us don't have rich parents or a trust fund, so it's hard.
Hmm. Well, listen, I really appreciate the time and the honesty. I've been sitting here talking to Chrissie Mayr, and I want to say thank you. Uh, and I've learned a lot. Uh,
Oh, wow.
that's I love a honest conversation, and that means a lot to me when somebody gives me their time.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was fun.
Okay, good. Okay, so can you pitch your? I'm sorry. Can you just give a quick
Yeah.
where your dates you're going to be, please?
Yes. Next Saturday, February 6th, I'm going to be at Cos Cobb and this room in Cos Cobb, Connecticut. I think you can find details for that on Eventbrite or my website. February 19th and 20th, I'm going to be at Hyenas in Dallas. February 26th, the Comedians of the Compound in Royersford, PA. February 28th, I'll be headlining the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, New Jersey. April 31st, Lake Park Black Box Theater in Palm Beach, Florida with Tim Young. Also May 1st, I'll be the Boca Black Box, also with Tim Young. And then I do have more dates coming. I'm going to be in Zanies in Nashville, May 19th, Stand Up Live in Huntsville, Alabama, May 20th. And Comedians of the Compound will be in Austin, Texas, I think in May as well. But that I'll put all these on my website. But yeah, mostly focusing on like those February dates. And follow me at All Things Chrissie Mayr, ChrissieMayr. Check out the Wet Spot on Compound Media Mondays at 7:30 Eastern. PM Eastern on compoundmedia.com. That's a sex dating relationship show. Fluffy, fun, porn stars,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm interviewing real quick Lisa Sparks again
Oh, okay.
on Sunday. So,
Cool.
folks, good old Lisa,
Good
919.
old Lisa. And then, yeah, the Chrissy Mayer's podcast, which can be found everywhere, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, 4 episodes a week. Trying to keep it 100 with these real ass conversations, going deep, finding truth. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, listen, thank you so much, and go see Chrissy, and you'll have a good time. I promise you. Okay. So, Chrissy, thank you so much. I'm the Amazing Vito, and please subscribe and check out Chrissy. She's really funny.
Thanks,
Okay.
Vito.
Be good. Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Okay. Love you too. Ciao.